All right, we have more deck lists to cover, and this is very interesting. Now, this was from a 44-man regional. Casper Jensen got second, and sent me in his report. And there was a lot of meta actually present for this being a 44-man event. Now, we're actually going to talk about another deck list from Columbus this weekend as well. Actually, that did relatively well. So, round one, we're going to go through his report, and then we'll go into the deck here. So, round one was Salamangre. He won 2-0. Round two was against Danger Thunder. Valor on the Saruja and Kaiju Colossus game one, and he bricked game two, which is enough. Round three was against Zombie. Zombie World makes this deck nearly unplayable if you don't draw Twin Twister. Yeah, that's kind of unfortunate. Round five was against Trickstar, or round four was against Sky Striker. 2-1. Game one, I ended on a 6,000 Liebe, and on turn two, and got OTK'd by my own monster because of Widow Anchor. And then game 2 and 3, Hatronade actually did a lot of work. Hey, I'm actually happy to see that Hatronade did work for you. Round 5 was Trickstar, he won 2-0, and then round 6 was Salad, he won 2-0. He said, side notes, Slumber and Urgent Schedule conflict a lot, even at 2 of each. He said, of extra deck, I ended up only using Trains, and then Sky Palace once or twice. Genius is mainly for linking Undergoes and Rivalry. From locals, I know that Guru Control is one of the hardest matchups. As soon as they have 2 monsters and auto lose, there can only be 1, is pretty good. Sided Slumber out against Salamangre every time because of Balinix being a thing, but it's still a good matchup if the Kaijus are ready to reboot. Top 8 was 4 Salamangre, 1 Zombie, 1 Sky Striker, 1 Danger Thunder, and 1 Trains, which was him. And yeah, this is actually pretty interesting. And then he said he said Salamangre won the event. And then he said special thanks to Rank 10 for inspiring him to play the deck after watching his videos. And the guy I drove with, Tobias, Peter, and Jonathan, who also happened to be the guy who won the event. So congratulations to them. But we have to talk about this list. So, I love lots and lots of Trains. I think that fundamentally this deck as a whole is one of the more interesting ones to come out of the metagame. And that's not a bad thing, but that means that something's got to give. You know, like, you can't always be successful with this deck. But, you know, he proved it. I remember when people just thought this used to be a skill drain deck. So, we have triple copies of Ash Blossom. Of course, you have to be playing this to present hand traps in the current format. We have triple copies of Effect Veiler. Of course, still one of the best things in today's metagame. The fact that this isn't restricted to once per turn is actually amazing. Now, we have triple copies of the Normal Summon Revive something from the Graveyard guy. This card is actually also incredibly broken. We have 1 copy of Gamma Seal. We have triple copies of the Super Heavy Freight Train Derkarian, just another extender for our deck. Triple copies of the Jizukuru. Actually, these two being the same level also helps a lot. 1 copy of Kumamungus. We have triple copies of the Night Express Knight. Just being able to have another large monster to plop out on the field is what we need. 1 copy of the Ruffian Railcar. This card is definitely not as good as it used to be, but in terms of generalized value and things like that, you still have to play it because of, you know, things like this. And we have triple copies of the Super Bullet Train, just another extender to start your combo. Normal summon, go, do your thing. Spells triple Called by the Grave. Yeah, I'm thinking about this and like, do hand traps really mess up this deck? And I'm like, oh, well, yeah, getting hand trapped on your switch yard is really bad. 2 copies of Interrupted Kaiju Slumber. Once again, you're a deck that kind of has to rely on putting monsters on the field. And unfortunately, with the way that this format is, we have multiple Kaijus running around. So I understand his logic for wanting to try out the multiple Kaiju engine and still try to use Urgent Schedule. But man, oh man, like, the confliction I see it is big even at 2. 2 copies of Limiter. I know a lot of people are going to go, I really want to put 3 limiters in this deck. I don't think playing multiple copies is going to be the super most efficient thing in the world. Granted, you can still cheese your opponent for an OTK because Libby plus, you know, limit removal is extremely cute, but I think 3 limiters is a little bit too much, just to kind of hard draw a card that you're going to want to kill your opponent with. So there's that. Triple copies of Desire is mandatory. We have triple copies of Revolving Switchyard. Once again, getting that crucial establishment off of this is why you're going to want to play this card. And then we have 2 copies of Terraforming to get to our said broken card. Then we have triple copies of Twin Twister and 2 copies of Urgent Scheduling. I know a lot of people really are going to want to play 3 Urgent Scheduling, but honestly, like, I don't know. man, like, I feel like playing more than 2 of this is just too much stress on the deck. And then down here in the extra deck, we have 1 Underclock Taker, 1 Genius, 1 copy of Pentastag, actually. We have 1 copy of Phoenix and Mermaid, 2 copies of Juggernaut Liby, 2 copies of Gustav Max, 1 copy of Gangadari, the Sky Palace, 2 copies of Dora the Explorer, 1 copy of the Ravenous Tarantula, 1 Titan, and 1 Duplexer Chimera. Side deck, we have triple Artifact Lancia, 2 copies of DD Crow, triple Hatronade. This card's actually really good. Actually, for your Sky Striker matchup, I think this card actually puts in a lot more work than I think people are going to want to admit it does. We have 1 copy of Super Poly, triple copies of Red Rebuto, and triple copies of Torrential Tribute, wrapping us up. Overall, looking at this, though, I'm not massively disappointed to see Trains do something. I think that in terms of a good build, this is a step in the right direction. I'm not going to diss second place. I really want to chase 3 limiter, but I know it's inconsistent, and that's bad. But, you know, Inner Robbie wants to be bad with some of these ideas. But congratulations, Casper. I really do think that Trains can do something in today's format. As we've seen, this deck went 5-1, which is relatively a good record. A lot of people would be happy with that. I mean, I'm not disappointed to hear about that. So, once again, congratulations. All right, we have one more deck list to talk about today. A Luna Control deck creeped into top 8 at the Columbus Regional, and I don't know if anybody else caught this. I'm sure a few people in the community have heard little echoes about this, but really? Luna Control. Now, everybody stopped playing around Mech Knights. I'm going to just be honest with you guys. You know, you can walk in with a fucking full Mech Knight deck and you can probably be successful at this point because everybody just stopped playing around it. We've reached the point where True Draco was a couple formats back where you could play that True Draco deck and it won that event. Everyone was like, oh shit, we stopped citing for this. What do we do? And then you just are like, oh fuck. Like, that was literally the day. So I think we've gotten to the point now that Mech Knight, now that it's, you got one event, one person got to take credit for it and it got its chance to do its thing. Outside of that, we're kind of, we've done our thing. So let's dig on into Luna Control. So we have triple copies of Ash Blossom, 2 copies of DD Crow, 2 copies of Brankatops, and triple copies of Feckviller. I'm so glad to see that there's a going second deck in the format again. You guys don't know. So we have played triple copies of Fairy Tale Luna. So when this card is normal summon, you can add a spellcaster with 1850 attack from your deck to your hand, so you can recruit for yourself. And once per turn, quick effect, target 1 face of monster your opponent controls. Your opponent can send 1 monster with that name from their deck or extra deck to the graveyard to negate this effect. Otherwise, return both this card and that monster to the hand. So the oldest combo in the book is Summon Luna, search for self, give your opponent the Kaiju, you bounce back the Kaiju, you did your job. You know what I mean? Like, you got free value off of it. Well, you know, that's all Luna Control is. Set up your columns and go. We have triple copies of Phantasmi, because draw power is nuts. 2 copies of this. Now, this is the hot tech here. So, if this card is in your monster zone and is destroyed by battle or monster effect and sent to the graveyard, you can target 1 face monster your opponent controls, equip this card to that target. While this card is equipped to that monster by this card effect, take control of that opponent's monster. When this card leaves the field, destroy the equipped monster. Fucking finally, Great Eagle gets to see play. We have 2 blue, 1 indigo, and triple purple Nightfall. And 2 copies of Phantom Skyblaster. Now, spells. Triple take our, or 2 copies of Take Our Opponent's Shit, 3 more copies of Take Our Opponent's Shit, Monster Reborn Our Opponent's Shit, draw more cards from our deck, and 1 copy of World Legacy Memory. This deck going second is the reason why you're going to win. And we've also got plenty of other cards that make our going second deck really good, evenly matched. And World Legacy Secret. So when this card is activated, target a level 5 or higher monster in the graveyard, special summon it. When this card leaves the field, destroy that monster and negate any opponent's monster effects activate in the same column as a Mech Knight monster you control. Man, putting multiple Mech Knights on the field for a blanketed negation is really good. And then the extra deck, we have 1 Triple Burst, Trisbania, 1 Space Insulator, Saruja, Spectrum Supreme Morningstar, Link Karibo, Link Spidey, Unicron, Phoenix, Cerberus of Boral Sword, Boral Ode, Thousand Eyes, and Millennium Thousand Eyes. Side deck, we have 2 Chaos Hunter, 2 copies of Denko Sekka, 2 Sphere Mode, 2 DD, or 2 Call by the Grave, 2 Twin Twister, 1 in Pre-Order, 2 Red Rebuto, and 2 Solemn Strike wrapping us up. You know, I'm shocked to see some of these lists top this week. But man, oh man, diversity is very far spread out. I'm very happy to see some of this stuff. So what do you guys think about these lists? You know, congratulations to both duelists on having successful weekends. Guys, please comment down below, tell me what you guys think. And well, guys, I'm out. Peace. The ride never, well, truly ends. Thank you, patrons. Without you guys, I don't know what I'd be wearing in these videos. I might be a truffle shuffle incident all over again. Guys, please also check out VanCole40 for some awesome Vanguard content. Some other interesting stuff you might find up here on the left or in the description as well. Thanks for watching.